I've been rocking a 100-inch screen for months, so when Hisense sent over their U75QG, I figured it would be more of the same, just another big size TV screen, right? Wrong. How does a TV the same size make everything else feel smaller? The answer involves mini LED tech, big brightness numbers, and gaming specs that shouldn't exist at this price. Let me show you what happens when size meets serious tech. For the past couple of weeks, this 100-inch U75QG has been my daily driver. I'm talking Netflix binges, marathon gaming sessions that stretched way too late into the night, and of course, a lot of YouTube. My living room gets bright afternoon light, which kills most TVs during the day. Then there's evening movie time when I want that more contrasty look and cinematic feel. And this is where the U75QG had to prove itself, delivering mini LED clarity that keeps details sharp, brightness that can cut through reflections, and smooth motion for fast action and instant input response for gaming. The real test is whether you can go bigger without paying flagship money. So here's how the picture quality and sheer size impact hit me from day one. The mini LED backlight system here is genuinely impressive. This thing gets searingly bright. We're talking close to 3000 nits peak brightness in some test windows. That's real light output that slices through reflections and keeps colors vibrant even when the room is full of afternoon sun. The local dimming zones create deep blacks that rival much more expensive sets. When I'm watching HDR content, highlights will pop without crushing the shadow detail. And the 100-inch size really changes everything about how you experience content, like text stays readable from across the room, movie scenes feel immersive in a way that smaller screens just cannot match, and it's like having a theater screen without the projector setup or light control requirements. And even something as simple as looking at an HDR demo reel feels like looking into a window of another world. And all content feels more engaging when it just fills your peripheral vision the way that this does. Colors stay accurate in SDR mode right out of the box as well. I switched over to cinematic mode for my standard content viewing since that looked best in my environment at least. The quantum dot layer keeps saturation high without looking oversaturated or artificial. And for HDR content, I use Dolby Vision bright mode. And there's definitely that wow factor because bright highlights and deep shadows create, again, that window-like effect that you really want from premium content. The upscaling engine handles lower resolution sources surprisingly well, so older streaming content looks clean and detailed on this massive screen. I don't have cable anymore, so I can't look at like that older 480p stuff. But again, looking at streaming, it's nice. There is some softness if you look closely at older content, but from normal viewing distances, even 720p content looks sharp and watchable. Now this 100-inch screen on the Hisense U7 is an ADS Pro panel instead of the VA panels that you'll find in the smaller sizes. And that fundamentally changes its viewing angle characteristics. Unlike the 55 through 85-inch models that can experience color washout and contrast loss when viewed off center, the 100-inch model maintains much better color accuracy and consistency at wider angles. And this makes it significantly better suited for large room setups where viewers may be spread across a wider area rather than concentrated directly in front of the screen. You won't see the same gamma shifting and blacks turning dark gray that VA panel versions might experience when people sit off to the sides. Now, when it comes to the built-in sound, the system here impressed me. I have an 11.2.6 Dolby Atmos speaker setup in my living room, so that's my default. But when testing this, the Hisense U7 has a very respectable built-in speaker system. You've got two main channel speakers, left and right, firing from the sides of the panel. There's a dedicated subwoofer handling all your low-end frequencies, so explosions and bass drops and rumbling thunder actually have some weight to them. And then the cool part, there's two upward firing speakers built into the TV as well that bounce the sound off your ceiling to create height effects, giving you 2.1.2 Dolby Atmos sound in a TV. In practice, this means when you're watching Atmos content on Netflix or Disney Plus, you're getting some of that overhead dimension without needing to mount speakers in your ceiling or by a sound bar. So helicopters flying overhead or rain falling, the TV is actually trying to place those sounds above you by using those drivers. Now, it's not going to compete with a dedicated surround system, but for built-in TV speakers, having that subwoofer and height channel is a legitimate step up from just about any TV in this price range. range. And of course, this is a smart TV, and in particular, the U7 is running Google TV. Now, if you're thinking, well, that's gonna be slow and laggy, you're probably remembering Android TV, which was a nightmare. Google TV runs smoothly on this thing. Navigation is quick and responsive, apps load fast, and Wi-Fi 6E keeps streaming nice and stable. There is also an Ethernet port if you prefer that. The interface feels modern and intuitive with no lag when scrolling through menus or switching between inputs. You've also got access to over 10,000 apps and hundreds of free channels built right in. Getting this much screen real estate plus mini LED performance at this price point feels almost unfair to the more expensive sets out there. You're getting near flagship level brightness and contrast in a package that costs significantly less than premium alternatives. Now, let's talk gaming. And this is where the U7 really justifies the size of feature set. All 4 HDMI ports support the full 2.1 bandwidth. That means 4K at 165 Hz and 1080p at 288 Hz. That's console and PC gaming covered with room to spare. Input lag measures around 9.8 milliseconds, which feels instant during gameplay. Variable refresh rate support covers just about every standard. You got FreeSync, HDMI 4 and VRR, and G-Sync. The game bar is genuinely useful. Quick access to FPS mode, RPG mode, crosshair overlays, and dark detail adjustments can happen without pausing your session if needed. And the high refresh rate toggle is right there when you want to push frame rates even higher. Gaming on 100 inches transforms the experience completely. In Fortnite, you're tracking enemies across the full field of view. It just feels more natural. Your peripheral vision picks up movement that might get missed on smaller screens. The HUD elements stay readable from couch distance without feeling cramped. Playing Halo Infinite showcases the HDR capabilities perfectly. Vehicle explosions create bright highlights that don't wash out surrounding detail. Fast camera pans during combat stay smooth thanks to that high refresh rate support. The massive screen makes multiplayer matches feel more immersive, like you're inside the action. Speaking of being inside the action, Helldivers benefits from the sheer size during chaotic co-op sessions. Enemy swarms stay distinct instead of becoming visual noise, and the bright display keeps shadow details visible during darker missions too. Black Myth Wukong really shows off the visual capabilities with fast combat sequences that maintain sharp textures and smooth motion. The HDR highlights make armor shine and magical effects pop without losing the fine detail in darker areas. Motion clarity is good enough for extended gaming sessions. At higher refresh rates, fast panning shots stay reasonably smooth. There is some blur during the fastest movements, but it's not distracting during actual gameplay. HDR highlights stay punchy in game mode, and shadow detail remains visible for competitive advantage. Even in bright rooms, the screen cuts through ambient light effectively while gaming. When it comes to sizes, the Hisense U7 starts at 55 inches, then you've got 65, 75, and 85 inch models before you hit this 100-inch beast. But if this isn't big enough for you for some reason, there is one more size, which goes all the way up to 116 inches for the true ballers out there. The design feels premium without the premium price tag. You've got slim bezels that keep the focus on that massive screen, while the sturdy metal feet provide solid stability on any TV stand. Just make sure you get one wide enough. You've got built-in cable management to keep everything tidy, and wall mounting is also an option if you prefer to go that route. If you want the biggest, boldest upgrade per dollar for movies, streaming, and gaming, the U75QG delivers mini LED clarity, bright colors, and smooth motion at a price that undercuts rivals. If you want to pick it up for yourself, I will have a link down in the description below. Thanks for watching as always, guys. I appreciate your support. I'm Andrew Edwards. I will catch you in the next video.